Hey, we're live! We're live, everybody! Welcome to Nexus Gaming Series. This is a heroic division matchup between Aria and the Yitbauses and Luxorian Sons. We are starting things off on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 2 will be taking us to Infernal Shrines. First of all, I apologize for the late start. We were waiting on one of the Luxorian Sun players. Unfortunately, there was some last-minute scheduling changes, and unfortunately, they couldn't make it to this first match. We'll see if they show up for game number 2. But for right now, Luxorian Sun is playing with his sub. But we are on Tomb of the Spider Queen. This is the live patch, but no Deckard Cain available for either of the teams. This most recent patch does include some changes to Genji. Notably, some people might feel like he's just better than he was before. But, you know, we'll see. First ban out onto Maiev. Probably is pretty smart. Aria and the Yitbauses, are they going to ban out the Medivh right away? I would guess so. He's pretty strong on this map, pretty strong overall. It's not something you want to deal with. It's kind of the same thing with Maiev. You just don't want to deal with it. Like, why bother? Just get rid of it. It'll be interesting to see if either of the teams put a priority on the Phoenix. He's kind of fallen a little by the wayside in some teams. You know, people have figured out that if you crowd control him, you kill him. Go figure, right? So that could be, you know, either something that shows up late in the draft or not at all, potentially. But I would expect a Medivh ban here. Okay, there it is. They had to think about it for a bit. Maybe they're going to, you know, think a little bit more about their first picks coming up. But here we go. First pick for Luxorian Sun. Maybe they're looking to go aggressive. Maybe they're going to pick up some damage right away. Tanks available. Garrosh is pretty strong. Diablo as well. If they're going to go for a support, Stukov is your man. I still need to get used to those portraits, man. They changed them. It's the 2D portraits now. Stukov is the first pick up here on the side of Luxorian Sun. Pairs well with a lot of CC tanks, you know, surprisingly. So, yeah, I think that's probably fine. You know, Aria and the Yitbauses, they are unlikely to take both Garrosh and Diablo here, which means Luxorian Sun would likely pick up the other in the rotation. But what does Aria take here? Well, we know immediately they're going to take Malfurion and the Garrosh that I mentioned before. So, Malfurion was just shouting, it looked like. So Stukov and Malfurion are probably the two strongest supports in the game right now, so not surprised to see them both picked up here. The question I was wondering, though, is does Luxorian Sun actually take Diablo here? They don't have to by any means. In terms of damage, they could go with like a Greymane, you know, something safe and standard. They might even want to pick up their solo lane early, get it out of the way, and then look to ban one in the ban phase as well. But Diablo is very strong in this map. Devils do level 1. You get so much value rotating between the two lanes, picking up globes and just not dying. Not to mention all those tight choke points. You can slam people up against the wall and pretty decent against Garrosh. So that's kind of one of the reasons I would expect them to go with at least the Diablo here, but they don't have to. There's a lot of tanks available, even a lot of tanks that work well with Stukov. They are going to take Hanzo right away as their damage, and they're going to take Genji. Wow, double Shimada Brothers coming out on the side of Luxorian Sun. I kind of like it. You know, I'd mentioned Greymane is a little safer. Hanzo is probably better. Let's be real here. Hanzo's probably better than Greymane. Is it going to be W build Hanzo, or is it going to be Q? I mean, the explosive arrows is really good at level 4, but if you go W, you kind of go full W. And Genji, like I said, I feel like he might have gotten better. Diablo is banned out on the side of Aria. I think it's a fine ban. Like I said, there's a lot of tanks available, but I think Diablo would probably be the best of the ones available. So even knowing that there's a lot out there, limiting the options, I think is probably pretty smart. And Chromie getting banned out on the side of Luxorian Sun. I like the Chromie ban. Chromie is pretty alright here because she can poke out the objective, getting those cancels on them. Not to mention if you go the vision at level 1, providing the vision is great. And time traps really aren't good with Genji trying to dive the backline. So I think the Chromie ban is just fine. On now to Aria and the Yitbauses for their picks. So double Shimada Brothers does mean they're kind of squishy. They could go some kind of backline killer themselves. Unless they want to go something with a little more sustain for their team. They are going to go backline killer in the Tracer and pair that up with the Gul'dan, which I love. Gul'dan is very strong here. I would expect it to be corruption build, but it doesn't have to be. Tracer, again, good at harassing the backline. Obviously has her own problems with being able to survive the amount of damage that her opponents put out. So expect a lot of close calls on the side of Tracer. The nice thing about Tracer Malfurion, though, obviously, is you can throw the heal over time on her, and then no matter where she is, if you Moonfire someone, she'll get healed wherever she is. Last picks here for Luxorian Sun. They need a tank and a solo laner. They're going to pick up Johanna and Phoenix as their solo laner. Very interesting triple assassin lineup. Is Genji's range, right? Yeah, triple ranged assassin. I mean, it's technically like both. But that's a pretty big, that is a pretty squishy backline on the side of Luxorian Sun. Johanna has got pretty great wave clear though. Not to mention she has Iron Skin to help her from the Garrosh. Last pick here on the side of Aria and the Yitbauses is going to be Dahaka as their solo laner. Doesn't see, you know, as much play on this map in particular because it's rather small, so you don't get a lot of usage out of the global, but I still think Dahaka's pretty strong here. Not to mention the addition of crowd control with the tongue. It could be pretty good. But yeah, in terms of drafts, I'm not sure if I have a favorite. Honestly, I think a lot of it comes down to whether Tracer gets the kills on the backline compared to the opposite side. I feel like Aria and the Yitbauses have a lot beefier team. Like, they should be fine with the Malfurion being able to heal them up in the double front line. The question is, how much harass can Tracer get in the backline without getting blown up themselves? That's what I feel like it comes down to. The Luxorian Sun, they do have a lot of damage. Let's be honest, that is a lot of damage. I would expect the salvo coming up from Phoenix, not the Planet Cracker, but something could be said. If you go the root at level 13 on Stukov, just root them in the thing and then just murder them all. That's a thing. But here we go, game number 1 in our series between Aria and the Yitbauses and Luxorian Sun. On the left-hand side, it is Aria and the Yitbauses. With Aria on the Malfurion, Twa is playing Dahaka, Mockery on the Tracer, Argy's playing Garrosh and Yitbaus, rounding things out on Gul'dan. On the right-hand side, it is Luxorian Sun with Base State on the Johanna. Swoop is on Stukov, Patch is on Genji, JTR, our sub for now, is on Genji, and Electra is playing Phoenix. And they're throwing out the OCT, the team that may be coming to HGC near you. We'll find out. Level 1 pickups. We do have the Gul'dan going for corruption build. Kind of expected that. Laws of Hope. Q from Phoenix. And it is W build Hanzo here. 1 stack in the bank. In terms of laning, like I said, it will be Phoenix as the solo lane for Luxorian Sun up against Dahaka, which honestly, Phoenix should do all right in that lane. You know, range damage can poke him down pretty well. He needs to play safely in that bottom lane. And I like the Tracer rounds coming out at level 1 from Tracer. Just the additional 4 seconds of reveal time is going to help really well, especially against like a Genji if he tries to, you know, get away. Mockery with some good harass. And again, JTR and Hanzo trying to get the stacks in as early as possible. Electra came up for a little bit of harass. Again, because he went for the Q at level 1, his Twa tongues in there. He does have to find some way to get those stacks in, and not as easy to do in the solo lane, obviously. Meanwhile, Dahaka did go for enhanced agility at level 1. Trying to make use of the bushes. Patch is getting some good damage on the Yitbaus. This might be our first kill of the game. 30 hit points, 11. JTR will finish that off. So Patches actually did get the last autos. It looked like JTR got it. But the arrow's a little too slow, you know? Shuriken faster than the arrows. Go figure. Johanna's gonna have to use the Iron Skin here. Base State will get away just fine. Mockery getting some good damage in though as well. Level 4 around the corner for both the teams. That one early kill in the grand scheme of things really didn't mean a whole lot. It's all about the stat game at this point, honestly. A lot of questing talents coming out from both of the teams, and being able to get those down early is going to create a huge advantage for either of the teams. And as I expected, Electra is doing a pretty good job at the bottom here, up against the Dahaka. There are your level 4s. Again, more W build from Hanzo. It is not the explosive arrows. Wow, going for untouchables at level 4 from Tracer. Now that is an aggressive play coming out from Mockery. We'll have to see how much you know, quality we get out of that talent. It's risky. Indomitable from Garrosh, probably smart here, and Consume Soul, trying to keep him alive. Argy getting some stacks in. Aria to 8 stacks is his level 1 quest as well. Echo Corruption at 6. 12 stacks on the Hanzo is actually pretty good this early on. So neither team has enough return in. They are sitting at exactly the same amount. As Aria just gets one more in now. Perhaps a rotation down in the bottom lane. Electra does have the escape now, so he will get away. But turn in here on the side of Aria and Yitbauses back at the top lane. We do not have the turn in from them. So Aria and Yitbauses are going to drop some off early. Argy doesn't have to worry about losing those anymore. And we have a small lead now for Luxorian Sun. Yo, Jay, how's it going, man? So, no level 7 yet for either of the teams, but they will be close to turning in. Actually, we saw Phoenix at the bottom did sneak his in. Dahaka wasn't able to get that interrupt in time. So first Web Weavers of the game going over to Luxorian Sun. We'll have to see how much they can get out of this. Priority on this lane is likely going to be the top lane. That's the lane that the boss will be spawning in, which will be a later win condition. Yitbauses can delve out of the top here. Patches gets the kill. That is 2 kills of nothing in favor of Luxorian Sun. And again, they are in this top lane. Again, Electra and Phoenix at the bottom. He is doing a really good job against the Dahaka. I feel like Aria and Yitbauses maybe should help out a little bit more in those rotations earlier on in the laning phase, because I feel like that lane is just going to get pushed in way early. But there is your level 7 pickups from Luxorian Sun. Again, as I expected, more W builds from Hanzo. Going to complete out all 4 of those, which means on the defense, Hanzo is going to be doing a lot of damage as well, burning down the objective. But they get the 2 towers at the top, not much else. This one will fall here. Meanwhile, at the middle, that was cleaned up already. And again, this push at the bottom, Electra already getting the fort down to half damage, maybe even more. Aggressive plays here on the side of Luxorian Sun. Maybe looking for Dahaka to make a bad rotation. Electra getting aggressive at the bottom here, but not biting the bait quite yet. But we do have enough for a turn in now on the side of Argy and Yitbauses. As you can see, Argy already getting his turn in, so they will get a turn in of their own. And now it's time to see how much Aria can get done here. Bottom lane, that fort did go down. It's pushed in pretty far. Electra rotated to the middle, but he'll be on his way back down. But again, that 1 level lead on Luxorian Sun. Argy now in the middle of the team. Good body blocks coming up from base state, but he will condemn on his way out. Electra trying to get some damage in it as well. 15 stacks on his level 1 Q talent. Again, no kills on the side of Argy and Yitbauses, which means that level 4 pickup from Tracer not getting any value for the time being. Yitbauses need to be very careful here. Blind Goat as well. Yitbauses getting very low. That's kind of aggressive Gul'dan tapping there. As you can see, Patches saw it as well. Patches getting thrown over though. Argy getting some harass onto him. Level 10 around the corner for Luxorian Sun. Mockery getting some harassing here onto base state as well, but this top Web Weaver will get taken down. Middle one as well. The Dahaka at the bottom did manage to push that Web Weaver in all the way to the fort wall, but not much else happening there. Still no level 10 for either of the teams. John needs to be careful in the middle lane. If this wall goes down, they should be able to flip her over. Corruption going out onto her as well. There are your level 10s. Blessed Shield. Dragon's Arrow, massive shove. It is the Dragon Blade and Purification Salvo. There, whoa, big ult going out into Mockery. That Blessed Shield trying to lock them down, but the team wasn't there in time. There's the Dragon Arrow going down on Genji. And Genji, excuse me, gets the Dragon Blade as well. Aria under pressure as well. Patches should be able to finish that one up. That is 3 kills, or excuse me, 2 kills going over to Luxorian Sun. as they turn things around with that early level 10 advantage. I mean, there was only a small window that they had to take that opportunity. Bay State saw it, immediately throwing down the Blessed Shield, the Dragon's Arrow as the follow-up, and then the Dragon Blade, obviously, to finish that up. Level 10 on the opposite side as we see the red Web Weavers spawning. It is the Warlord's Challenge, Horrify, what one is that? Quantum Spike coming out, Twilight Dream, and Isolation. Quantum Spike pretty good into the front line of Johanna, but really not that great against the rest of the team. Johanna under pressure. Johanna actually doesn't have any mana. She needs to be careful. She already used the Iron Skin Argy with the Warlord's Challenge. Unfortunately, Patches gets away from now. Twa going in with aggressively in the backline, gets pushed away. There's a Horrify as well. Gonna grab two members. Bay State has the pulse bomb on him, and now they're gonna throw Phoenix out as well. JTR throws out the Dragon Arrow, hits nothing, unfortunately, and that is a kill going over to Aria and the Yitbauses. They're going to go ahead and try to clean up this top fort before it goes down. It looks like Aria able to clean that one up. Meanwhile, in the middle, this is here. I believe at any point, Genji should be able to just sneeze on that fort, as Aria and Yitbauses are both trying to get him off of there. And at the bottom, the Web Weaver pushed to about exactly where it was before we started this. So, ultimately, Luxorian didn't really get a whole lot done with their push. You can see Patches at the top does snipe that fort. I mean, I guess they got the fort. That's important. There are still all forts up on the side of Luxorian Sun. So opening up the map is good, and getting that fort down obviously helps for later boss pushes as well. So we do have enough for a turn-in on the side of Aria and the Yitbauses. It's not even close yet for Luxorian Sun. They will get level 13 first, though. Aria grabbing a camp. Obviously, one picked up on the side of Luxorian Sun, and Luxorian Sun gets the siege camp at the bottom as well. Turn-in already happened here. Swoop trying to get an interrupt, but Yitbauses, ooh, Swoop does get the interrupt and the massive shove as it is going to say. Aria could flip him at any point. So nice job there from Swoop getting the interrupts on that turn-in. And let's see if Luxorian Sun can make something happen here. The Haka clean up the camp at the bottom. No level 13 yet for Luxorian Sun. But with that nice interrupt from Swoop, that means they don't have to worry about a Web Weaver quite yet. It's camp in the middle, getting some good value. It will ultimately be picked up, giving them, you know, a little bit of spell armor. Aria and the Yitbauses are now down 13s for a short while. It is the root coming up from Stukov as expected. But again, no Planet Cracker. Here's the Dragon Arrow on top of with the other Lurking Arm Tracer, and Garrosh just annihilated Luxorian Sun with the lockdown there. Great combo there. Dragon's Arrow into the Lurking Arm. I think he got the root too just to make sure they weren't going anywhere. And with that, Luxorian Sun is going to immediately head to the boss here. The question is, does Aria and the Yitbauses turn in their gems to get the Web Weaver spawn? They'd have to go to the bottom lane for safety. They didn't see the rotation, I don't think, but I think they assumed they would be headed here. Indeed, they are turning in at the bottom lane. So, boss going over Luxorian Sun. Aria and the Yitbauses are going to answer with a Web Weaver phase of their own. 10 minutes into this game, I mean, this boss really doesn't get a whole lot done. I guess it will maybe get the wall here. But the Haka continue to push to the bottom means Aria and Yitbauses should at least get one fort at the bottom, maybe the one in the middle as well, if Luxorian Sun sticks around. And again, this boss is pretty low already. It does get the gate. Towers are very low as well. Luxorian Sun probably should think about getting away from here, but no, they're looking to stick around. I don't know about this decision. Boss already dead. Their Purification Salvo Comet actually get a lot of value. Malfurion goes down here. Genji with the deflects on that Pulse Bomb as well. Swoop is going to push away Argy for the time being. Twa coming in on the backside. Bay State under pressure, but Purification Salvo, there it goes. Does not land onto the Haka. Electra getting flipped in now. And they have a zoning Lurking Arm, which means Argy's under pressure. Garrosh will die. Patches gonna clean that one up, and Luxorian Sun gets away with 2 kills there. They don't get the top keep, and they did indeed lose both of those forts in the meantime. These Web Weavers are, you know, this one at the bottom's dead already, but this one at the middle needs to get cleared up. Damage onto the keeps for Aria and the Yitbauses. So, again, was it worth it? They got some kills, but they didn't get the keep and ultimately had to leave there. So, Luxorian Sun, they do grab level 16 first. Aria and the Yitbauses have enough for another turn in. Luxorian Sun has one for their own as well. Yitbaus turning in at the bottom. Needs to be very careful. They could. I mean, maybe they didn't have vision, but I feel like they could have just immediately killed the Gul'dan there, but it doesn't look like they're willing to do so. Luxorian Sun will turn in what they can. And there it is. They get the turn in, and they have level 16 for a short while. Imposing Presence coming out from Johanna. And they are going to look to dive on Yitbaus. There's the Dragon Arrow as well. Condemn into the Lurking Arm. Will kill Gul'dan and Argi under pressure as well. Roots go out, but it won't be enough to save Garrosh. 2 kills going over to Luxorian Sun. Patch is looking to get more. Aria will fall here. 3 kills for Luxorian Sun. With the Web Weavers, they're going to look to push down this bottom keep. Now, there is a siege camp behind them, which means they don't have a wave, and the Web Weaver is kind of stuck for the time being. Dahaka doing his best to try to clean up top lane, but I believe this keep at the bottom will still fall. Still relatively short cool death timers. Base State tanking the keep for the time being. So Tracer on the way back means a lot of harass and, excuse me, Gul'dan on the way back when you feel a lot of harass with the, the Horfight pushes them the wrong way. Electra, does he have an escape? Base State under pressure as well. Nice Lurking Iron coming up from Swoop. That keep is at just a couple HP. Web Weaver is here. I believe if the wave gets off, it might finish off. Now they have the root coming out. There's the Purification Cell, but Aria does not get away from that. Malfurion will fall. They into the fray, trying to save her with that additional armor, but did not do so. Keep, again, so low, but not quite there. Patch is making look something happen, gets thrown in, and taunted underneath the keep. Genji falls, but so does the Garrosh. Keep is still alive. That is 2 kills to 2. And the Web Weavers did push up all the way to the keep, but now Luxorian Sun has to back away. You know, their safety in Patches being able to kill that keep off is not alive for now. Aria and the Yitbauses have enough for a turn in, but they are pushed away from their lane for the time being with them all pushed up against them. Yitbaus starting the Bruiser Camp. Bruiser Camp starting on the opposite side as well. But now Luxorian Sun, I mean, they got a lot of map pressure. They didn't grab a keep on either of their last Web Weaver phases, though. And now their opponents have the opportunity to fight back. Yo, Hero Physio, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Twa getting in his 61 gems. Electra got the interrupt for now, but needs to be careful they don't get dove on. JTR coming in here as well. They have the stun on him, and he gets flipped. Are they going to get the Warless Challenge? And they have the Quantum Spike. Phoenix goes down. Twa trying to get in his 60 gems here. He does. Aria and the Yitbauses get their turn in with the kill onto Phoenix as well. And again, this is the opportunity that Aria has now. Luxorian Sun not getting a keep on those last 2 Web Weavers were actually pretty important. Arrow coming out in the top lane. They're going to get the kill on there as well. Going to get Gul'dan, and will they get the Malfurion as well? Yes, they will. 2 kills going over Luxorian Sun. Unfortunately, just playing too far forward in the top lane there. Nice job coming in with the Dragon's Arrow and the Blessed Shield. So Luxorian Sun, I mean, you know, that small wins, small wins, small losses. This one at the top will get cleaned up here. The one in the middle and the bottom are the higher prioritization, as they're already up against the keep in the middle lane here. Dahaka pushing in at the bottom. Needs to be careful. He can actually get away from here. Massive Shove is going to push him against the wall. Twa under pressure. I don't know if he's called for safety, but no, he's just gonna be like, whatever, I'll just walk away. Level 20 here now for Luxorian Sun, Indestructible. It's the Purification Salvo. No, what is that? That is the secondary fire. Yeah, that's the one. Massive Shove upgrade. I love the Massive Shove upgrade. Like, the CDR on it is actually hilarious, and play of the game as well. Boss started with that 20 advantage on the top side. Aria and Yitbauses, will they be able to contest? Not without any 20. Dragon's Arrow going as well. The Purification Salvo does not hit Twa, but Aria already under a lot of pressure. Boss was already taken. Oh yeah, or not taken. Was leashed. Patches will actually die here. That is a 1-for-2 trade. Base state already very low. Taunt comes out on the Phoenix as well. Aria trying to get them down, but Electra will fall for now. Aria trying to keep the team alive. Mockery with the big damage in the backline, but Swoop is going to push them away. That's CDR, man, I'm telling you. So, they leashed the boss, and they got 2 kills, but unfortunately, Aria and the Yitbauses, they got the kill onto Genji, and it looks like they saw the Hearthstone. They're just going to start this all over again. I mean, they have Hanzo with W build, so they pretty much annihilate bosses. Look at this. This is absolutely ridiculous. Boss going over to Luxorian Sun. They are only 4 gems away from another turn-in. Aria and the Yitbauses are about to get level 20, but they're going to have to answer this. I mean, it's likely going to be at least the top keep. You can see Electra getting the rest of the gems needed here. There are your level 20s picked up. And we do have the Contagion coming out. Now, I feel like Contagion should get a lot of value here. If they can land a good isolation onto multiple people, I mean, that's basically the team fight. JTR sniping the keep at the bottom. Web Weavers are spawning now. The lane at the bottom is pretty far pushed out. But Aria and Yitbauses is trying to make something happen here. In the middle lane, Twa under a lot of pressure. They're going to get the taunt out onto Phoenix, and the Horrify. Phoenix will go down. The Root's going on the base state as well. That is a nice early pickoff for Aria and the Yitbauses. That will, you know, maybe save them at least the game here. Because if they lost, you know, keeps and they lost members in a potential team fight, that they would have just lost here. Getting the pick early guarantees them a good defense. Phoenix being down for another 45 seconds here. So they're going to clean up the one in the middle and in the top lane here. Will they get more? They try to make it happen. Argy went for that extra pull-in on his E at level 20. Base State throwing out the Blessed Shield as a disengage. Good damage there from JTR from the scatter arrow. So we are in for a game, ladies and gentlemen. Again, JTR sniped that keep at the bottom, but the rest of the keeps are still alive. So Luxorian Sun, despite getting those 3 Web Weavers so close to the keep, still only were able to confirm the 1. But, I mean, it is a win condition. This means that is something that will have to be, you know, dealt with for the rest of the game. Now, neither team has enough for a turn-in. Aria and the Yitbauses are close. But no boss, obviously, for another, how much, 2.5 minutes, we'll call it. Aria and the Yitbauses have enough now. Luxorian Sun potentially looking to play goaltender. Base State needs to be careful here, and they're going to trade out bruiser camps for the time being. Aria has the majority of the gems here. Nice interrupter coming up from Swoop, and a lot of damage coming out from Yitbaus there. The Haka at the bottom, continuing to make sure that those catapults don't push in too far. Patches trying to get some damage in on the backside here. Base State looking to get aggressive too. They're going to get the slam. They're going to throw him away and slam him. And now they're going to get the tongue on here. Horrify gets on the Phoenix inside the root, but Patches getting some good work in the backside. The Haka will be the first of all. Aria gets 1 silence, but it won't be enough here. Genji will fall as a return, but Mockery under a lot of pressure. Blinds from Base State, and here comes the Purification Salvo. Hanzo will fall though. Salvo will get the Garrosh. Nice root there from Aria, but Mockery on the backside is going to clean things up. Will he get away? That is 2 kills for 3 in favor of Aria and the Yitbauses. I can't believe Tracer lived for that long. Mockery doing so much work there. Untouchables up to 8 stacks, by the way. But no gems. I believe all the gems that were lost from the kills were picked up from both of the teams. So 2 kills to 3. I mean, honestly, Aria and the Yitbauses, can they turn in? I don't think they can quite yet. Not without a front line. It's going to be difficult. because Phoenix still exists, and Genji will be back in 10 seconds here. So again, this bottom lane is being pushed in here, thanks to those siege camp and the catapults as well. Electra sitting in the bush trying to protect his bottom lane, but obviously needs to be careful himself. If he gets CC'd, it's just game over. Alright, Electra is going to back away, and we do have the Web Weavers going over to Aria. I mean, he maybe could have gotten interrupted and immediately tried to phase away, but I don't think it was worth the risk. So both of the keeps for Aria and the Yitbauses are really low. Camps are pushed, or excuse me, lanes are pushed against them heavily, but look at this bush here at the bottom. Trying to make something happen. Hanzo with the nice arrow though. Gonna make sure that no one's sneaking up behind them. So the lane at the bottom is the priority because this is the lane that was pushed up the most already. Trying to get them this keep as well. Bay State trying to get aggressive. Already used his shield. Arrow coming out with the roots on top of it. Twa under a lot of pressure. There's the Horrify going out, and he saw that huge Twilight Dream as well. Hanzo will die here. Patches was low as well. Yeah, that Twilight Dream was sick coming out from Aria there. And Stukov actually down there as well. Nice job from Mockery getting the kill on the backside. And now Web Weavers are on the core, and with 2 kills down. Can they make this happen? Luxorian Sun trying to turn things around. Genji's gonna die though. Bay State will die as well. Electra, the only one alive on the team, and this should be game number 1 in our series, going over to Aria and the Yitbauses as they get that final kill. And we go to game number 2. Hey, it's me. So there you go, final damage numbers. We can see Tracer. Untouchables got value, right? 13 stacks, I believe, was the final stack count on hers. Yeah, really good job from Mockery on the Tracer. You know, I questioned in the draft if the pick was worth it. It was very aggressive, and I felt like a lot of the play was on the Tracer getting the harasses compared to the opposite side. 14 kills to 19. So despite getting more kills, that those last team fights there, 20v20, was pretty important. Take a look at those final talents as well. And we're gonna go ahead and get our lobby set up for our next game. So let's do that. Let's do that, shall we? Game number 2 will be on Infernal Shrines. That last map was the pick for Aria and Yitbauses, so this is map pick for Luxorian Sun. And let's see if we can actually get them in here. Bay State, where are you? There you are. And how are y'all doing in chat? I am on a 2-minute delay, so I apologize. I can't do a whole lot of chat interaction. Interaction. Words are hard, man. I tell you. So yeah, we did have a little bit of a late start today. I have another game to cast here in 25 minutes. So hopefully this game doesn't go too long. And then later on tonight at 8 Pacific, I have another matchup featuring Aria and the Yitbauses. That'll be 2+2 versus Aria and the Yitbauses, which will be a very good game. 2+2 really on top of the game and top of the scoreboards as well, I believe, for the heroic division. All right, we gotta make sure we put people on the right side. No, Patches. No. There we go. There we go. We're just gonna wait for the teams to ready up. It's like one of the teams has got someone AFK for now. Just taking a look at chat. Again, I'm pretty far behind. Yo, Mongoose, thanks for that follow. Lux have been significantly improved since the last time we've seen them? I think they have gotten better. They were playing with a sub that time. Looks like they're playing... They have the full team in this game. It looks like Hayes is here. So it was JTR on Hanzo was filling in that game. In fact, we should probably mark the win going over to Aria, huh? That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, let me get caught up in chat here. I saw y'all talking. Comboing really well. Style the Haka here to switch his 4 and 10. Maybe. I mean, I think that the isolation made sense against the kind of playstyle that they were going for. And again, I felt like Contagion at level 20 should have been really good. Looks like we're good to go, though. Looks like we're good to go. Good luck, have fun. No, you. Okay. Here we go. Game number 2 in our series between Aria and the Yitbauses versus Luxorian Sun. Game number 1 did go over to Team Aria. And this was a map pick for Luxorian Sun, which means first ban, first pick on the side of Aria and the Yitbauses. Last time we saw the bans onto Maiev and Medivh. I would expect probably similar bans here as well. Yo, JTR, he's in chat now. Yeah, nice, nice. I appreciate you filling in for the team regardless. It helped me out getting the game started on time. And I thought, you know, your Hanzo play was pretty good too. But again, there are bans coming out. Maiev, she's still very strong. Infernal Shrine, she gets a lot of value as well because a lot of people are stacked around there. Her Q gets a lot of damage in. It's easy to, you know, hit people with the W. It's just not something you want to deal with. And again, I probably would expect the Medivh ban here as well. In terms of supports on this map, you know, we saw the early picks on Stukov and Malfurion. Alexstrasza does a pretty good job on this map in particular. You know, you pop Dragon's Queen, and that basically says to your opponents, yo, back off. Just get out of here. Get on out of here. Nice. I like the commands coming out in chat as well. But no Medivh ban. Gul'dan getting banned on the side of Luxorians. Does Aria, do they just pick up Medivh? I feel like, I mean, obviously, okay, yeah, they're just gonna pick up Medivh. Obviously not banning Medivh means they're planning for a Medivh to get picked up. So with that in mind, what do you do if you're Luxorian Sun? So you purposely gave them Medivh. Maybe they're looking for more of a sustained team fight. Maybe they are looking for like poison damage, like, but they already banned the Gul'dan, like a Lunara maybe, you know, something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe just a lot of crowd control, but obviously Medivh very good against burst damage. So obviously letting him through means they are prepared to handle the consequences. So first picks here for Luxorian Sun. They're gonna go with Garrosh and the Stukov. I was gonna say the Stukov probably would be still the pickup here. Garrosh, I feel, is really difficult to play on this map. You know, if you're on the Shrine, all those skeletal defenders are there, and he can't really throw people when there's things in the way, right? And on this map, there's just always things in the way until you get, you know, the level 20 where you can throw 2 things. But that's one of the reasons I actually don't like Garrosh here. I feel like they could either waited on the pick or went with a different tank. I think Diablo's very strong here, and maybe that's the pickup on the side of Aria and the Yitbauses. Diablo and Medivh go pretty well together. If they're going to go for supports, they could go with the Malfurion. I mentioned the Alexstrasza before. They could go with neither, see what gets through the ban phase, and then pick the other one if one of them is banned. So they could instead pick up damage and a tank here, and again, have their options at 2 pretty good supports. But I mentioned the Diablo. I feel like he'd be pretty strong here. It is indeed the Diablo, and they're going to stick with the Haka as their solo laner. So not showing their damage yet is Aria and the Yitbauses, which is a pretty smart strategy, I'd say. You know, it's not showing too much. And again, I felt Diablo was pretty strong into the Garrosh. Being able to do that percentage-based damage right up against the walls. Not to mention, if Diablo's the one getting flipped, he can just shadow charge right back through. Bans now for Luxorian Sun. They are going to ban the Alexstrasza. Like I said, that was probably their strategy. make them ban one and you just pick the other. And I'm sure Aria and the Yitbauses are fine getting the Malfurion as well, as we saw that last game. Bans now for them. You know, I maybe ban Blaze here. I'm trying to think of or Phoenix. Maybe they ban the Phoenix. Actually, I think the Phoenix ban would make more sense. We saw Phoenix was doing a pretty good job laning against the Dahaka. Phoenix gets some pretty good value on this map. Okay, they are going to go with Blaze. Yeah, the only reason I didn't think it was going to be Blaze because I felt like it was too obvious. I don't know. Like, Blaze can obviously fit here, and Bunker is a good ultimate, but I felt like they should have been more worried about the damage coming out from Luxorian Sun rather than what their extra frontline is going to be. But regardless, Phoenix is gone, and now picks for Luxorian Sun. Do they go with the Phoenix? I feel like they're going to need more crowd control. They could go with Hanzo again here. They're going to go with Tyrael. And they're going to pair that with Greymane. Okay. So, I'm assuming not Judgment. I'm assuming it will be the Sanctification. But picking up Tyrael means they are going to be a little bit lower on the crowd control. Obviously, Holy Ground is pretty good when you get to 13. Junkrat getting picked on the opposite side. I like that a lot. Concussion Mine gets a lot of value here. Not to mention just the damage that he puts out, the splash damage on the Shrine and in lane. Junkrat, very good. And they will indeed pick up the Malfurion. All right. Last picks now for Luxorian Sun. You know, do they have something special up their sleeves? Picking up Tyrael means potentially they're looking to dive, and they can do so with Greymane, but they're going to have to pair that up with something. Maybe they're going to go with Genji again here, trying to get resets. No, they're going to go with Malthael. Okay, but it's not Last Rites, is it? Do you have to wait out the Force of Will and then Last Rites, or do you just go Tormented Souls and just walk into their team with Sanctification? I'm not sure. I think there's something could be said for either of them. You know, wait out Force of Will and then kill someone. Ideally the Diablo or Medivh. But we'll find out. We head to game number 2. You were the MVP by Yitbaus. Nice. Hiroshi analysis on point on Infernal 9 to 19 in HTC. I don't like him on this map either. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel it on this map. It doesn't. He's still a very good tank, I feel, just not in this situation. By the way, I didn't mention in the first game, but Portrait Synergy on point. So I like that. I like that quite a bit. The Luxorian Sun going with the Luxorian theme even, with the Desert Queen Zagara. And Carbide Lily, come on now. But here we go, game number 2 in our best of 2 series. The Luxorian Sun. On the left-hand side, it is Aria and the Yitbauses. With Aria playing Malfurion, Twa is on the Dahaka, Argi playing Diablo, Yitbaus is on the Junkrat. Oh god, who's playing Medivh? Already forgot. Mockery, of course! Mockery. Okay. 10 seconds. On the right-hand side, it's Luxorian Sun with Swoop on Tyrael. Patches is playing the Greymane base state on Garrosh, Electra on the Malthael this time, and Patches, or excuse me, and Haze on Stukov. So Swoop was our healer last time. Haze was not here. JTR was filling in, so Haze is in here for game number 2, and he will be on the role of support. Taking a look at the level 1 talents, nothing too surprising, I feel. Base State already getting some early pressure onto him. And we'll have to see who decides which lanes to go to. It will be Dahaka up at the top against the Malthael. You could have potentially put Greymane up there, but I think, you know, Malthael obviously a very strong solo laner. The only reason I would think about putting Greymane up there instead is because I feel like Malthael might have better poke against this team. But Malthael with the double soak potentially, I mean, you can't do that. So, again, Double soak coming out on the side of Luxorian Sun. They're going to bring Malthael to the top and the middle lane, and they're going to try to push in his forward. Damage going out early onto Argi. Gets the heal on him thanks to Aria. Argi gets away for now. Camps are spawning. We'll have to see what the priority are. Patch is already headed that way. I mean, the way that you normally want to play this map is you grab these Impalers as soon as possible. Then you go to the Bruiser, and then right around that time is when the objective will be spawning. We'll have to see if Electra gets any harass onto Twa in these rotations. I don't think so. Electra doing a very good job, by the way, on the lanes themselves. Going for the Death's Reach at level 1. Helping him out. No cocktail build, by the way, from Greyman. I didn't expect it. It's pretty much fallen out of favor for most teams. But sometimes you still see it. So those Impalers are now being picked up on the side of Aria and the Yitbauses. The ones in the middle are pushing in to see if they clean that up eventually. Level 4 now as well, Indomitable. Indomitable, I don't know why that's so difficult to say. I believe that's Deep Roots. It is. And the quest talent coming up from Junkrat at level 4. I think that is going to be a big part of this. The amount of poke from Aria and the Yitbauses is pretty good. Between the Junkrat and the Medivh. But big heavy frontline, I mean, I feel like, again, Mockery was the playmaker last time, I feel, on Tracer, and now trying to make the plays here down the bottom. Not losing Master's Touch. He's got 9 stacks on it. But Shrine is activate at the top lane. Luxorian Sun maybe looking to take the camp at the bottom first before heading up there. Aria and the Yitbauses is heading to the objective now. Not starting it quite yet, though. But yeah, camp getting picked up at the bottom. But Dahaka means, you know, they have a global to clear that up. And again, that's one of the reasons I kind of liked them picking it early. So here's the rotation coming in from Luxorian Sun. Again, they're going to be late. They can now see the vision on 2 of them in the middle, so I don't think Aria and the Yitbauses should be too afraid of this. Aria getting the heals in. 13 stacks on Master's Touch. Diablo has half his souls now, but here's the rest of the team from Luxorian Sun. Bay State getting aggressive, gonna flip over Mockery, and they get pushed away from the portal. Roots go out as well. But now, Aria and the Yitbauses have a pretty commanding lead so far. Aria getting flipped over. They have the silence from Stukov's there, but Portal is gonna save them for now. And again, with Malfurion, they should be able to just sustain through this. They only need 9 more, and again, they have poke. Look for Yitbaus here to just be sniping away this objective. Concussion Mine going out, doing some good damage as well. There's the Roots as well. Argi looking to get aggressive on Bay State. Swoop is going to be able to use the Eldruins to get away, but now we got the trap on Patches. He should get away as well, and this will be the first objective of the game going over to Aria and Yitbauses. Meanwhile, that camp at the bottom actually was not cleaned up. I think there's like 1 left. Punisher going over, gets the loop onto Swoop, gets the jump onto Swoop. Hayes has the zoning lurking arm here. And ultimately, this Punisher will go down, and Aria and the Yitbauses is not getting a whole lot out of it. I mean, you normally don't on the first objective anyway. But Luxorian Sun really burning through that. The Haka is down at the bottom now, paired up against the Malthael. Alright, they got more than I thought they were. I didn't know if they were willing to stick around, but they had the wave with them, so they did indeed. It's a pretty good value, I'd say, overall. Pretty even in terms of XP now, though. The Haka, again, cleaning up that camp at the bottom, and Palers in the middle are available for both of the teams. Next objective will be spawning in the middle lane. Pressure in the middle is pretty even, though. I don't think either team has an opportunity to push in the middle to try to get a well down quite yet. Both of the teams should have level 10 before this next objective, or at least it'll be close. Mockery on Medivh, by the way, up to 74 stacks on Masters, or excuse me, 32 stacks on that Master's Touch. I was looking at the souls. So very close to completed Master's Touch. 36 now. Only needs 4 more. Obviously, try not to risk too much at this point. It is the Arcane Explosion, as expected, level 7, by the way. Not looking for the spell power. And Diabolical Momentum. You know, I do actually like the spell power reduction, or the spell armor at level 7 from Diablo. I think the Diabolical Momentum is just better in most situations. Argy getting flipped over. Yitbauses trying to finish it up, but I don't think he'll be able to do so in time. He gets the, oh, no way. He got the Force of Will there, and he was able to get out of the portal there. Medivh does complete his stacks here. Camp goes over to Luxorian Sun, but Yitbauses gets away. So Argy tried to like zone them off there. Yitbauses is trying to finish the camp. Unfortunately for Luxorian Sun, they weren't able to finish that up thanks to Mockery's good plays there. And there are your level 10s. We got the Warlord's Challenge coming out first here. Curse Bullet, Sanctification. Still waiting on the rest of Mir. Like I said, I'm assuming it's Tormented Souls, but I'm not sure. Massive Shove. He's actually sitting on it. On the opposite side, we have the Apocalypse, Twilight Dream, Riptire, and no way. Does he get out? He's taunted. The taunt brought him back. All right, that is first blood going over Luxorian Sun. It was the Riptire, the Polybomb, by the way, and the Isolation. And again, Malthael still hasn't chosen. I'm not sure what he's holding. I mean, maybe he's gonna wait for a team fight and then decide. You know, let it be a surprise until then. But they did get the pick onto Yitbauses, but he should be back in time to make something happen here. Double camps going over to Luxorian Sun, though, so they will have map pressure. And Mockery is now here. Again, he does have his Master's Touch stacked completed. Argy doesn't have all the souls he needs quite yet to come in here. Swoop, coming in and get some rest. Argy getting pushed over and has the Cursed Bullet on top of him. There's the Warlord's Challenge coming out as well. Sanctification is out, which means they have to wait on the Riptire. They're going to get some good damage onto Electra. He did go for those Tormented Souls, as you saw. Ultimates burned on both sides, but Luxorian Sun is taking control of the shrine. They have Camp pushing against them in the middle. Twa up at the top, soaking for the team as well. Trying to push that out. Here comes the damage out from Diablo. Nice damage. They got the concussion mine into the Twilight Dream. Polybomb going out as well. That is one kill going over to them. And will they get another one? Nice body blocks, but Bay State's going to flip him right back over. Only 7 more Luxorian Sun needs. Electra trying to make it happen with the damage over time. They're going to dive onto him, though. Will they get the kill onto him? Roots going out, trying to lock him down. Don't quite get it. Luxorian Sun trying to get this objective finished. 2 more. It's very close. Argy trying to keep them away from them for now. Only 1 left. Malthael Wolfhall, Warlord's Challenge does come out. They're going to get the kill onto Bay State, though. 2 kills going over to Aria and the Yitbauses, but they do lose the objective. Cursed Bullet, unfortunately not getting much value. Twa is very slowed, however, and then gets the tongue on Tyrael here. Massive Shove, gonna push him to the corner. Gonna have to burrow away from it. Twa under pressure from this Mortar Punisher as well, but he will get away. Damage out on Argy. Patches is going in. Nice Force of Will there from Mockery. So, this Punisher in the middle will get some damage onto this fort here. Ultimately, Luxorian Sun is going to back away. They don't have level 13 quite yet. They're going to maybe try to get the pick onto the Hawk at the bottom. Don't know if that will happen. Meanwhile, at the top, Electra trying to keep the top fort alive. Fort of the middle stands for now, but if they don't clear that wave out, it will take the fort. Mockery looking at the vision here, scouts them out at the bottom. A little too late, unfortunately, to get on this camp, and now Twa under pressure. There's the Force of Will, but Polybomb trying to keep him alive. Oh, Riptire gets a lot of value, lands on a 3. Sanctification might be a little too late to save them. Aria with the Moonfire. No, Argy tries to get the Shadow Charge and flip, unfortunately pushes them away. Mockery trying to make things happen in the back, though. Mockery very aggressive, just knocking away, but Medivh will die. And that is a 1-for-1 trade. Yitbauses is going to get away thanks to the concussion mine. You can see, is that Ripper Air at level 13? It is Ripper Air. Mockery, I am an idiot. Okay. Yo, Shenanigoats, thank you very much for the host, man. Much appreciated. And welcome to all the Shenanigans viewers. We do have game number 2 between Aria and the Yitbauses versus Luxorian Sun. Game number 1 going to over Aria. Electra popping the Tormented Souls. Will they get the kill here onto Aria? It looks like it. No Badiv to save him, but he does have souls. He will be back. So, 4 kills to 3. Fort will fall here in the middle lane. Fort at the top falls as well. Mockery laying down the sprays. Just gonna scout out. Yes, indeed, they are at the camp. You don't have leyline, so you can't, you know, be cheeky and take it. By the way, leyline over polybomb. I think polybomb was probably the smarter play, just considering all of the melee that your opponents had. But you know, leyline into APOC might have been something that they could have looked to do. Try to wombo that with into the Riptire as well. I don't know. I think it's a toss-up which one might be better in this situation. But no advantage from either teams in terms of talents or level at the time being. Swoop is going to throw his Eldruins back. You can see he did pick up the Holy Ground at level 13. I do like, what is it called? Something to punish it? No. Law and Order, that's it. Electra starting the camp here. I think Twitch scouted out, but they're not going to be able to contest that. Shrine activating in the bottom. Both forts are up for both the teams, and they have wells there. Slight XP lead for Aria and the Yitbauses. They might get level 16 before their opponents on this point here. Trying to get that soaking in the bottom. Maybe they push in. I mean, they see their opponent's middle. Maybe they push in the wall here, get more XP. No, they're not going to. Twa at the top, continue to soak and clear up that camp that was taken. Look for him to burrow in at the right time, but for now, the right time might be for Argy to die. He has the healing coming out. Hayes is going to push them away. Riptire came out as well, and Sanctification. Those are cooldowns. Which means Aria and the Yitbauses might be able to make something happen now. Dahaka trying to get level 16, but I feel like they could just go in now. Apocalypse going down. Twa, is he going to come in here? You can see the silence coming out. Great lurking arm there from Hayes. Dahaka finally coming in, but I feel like it might be a little too late. Argy and Aria are both very low, and they need to keep them alive. Twa under a lot of pressure here. I don't know if he has Essence. Twa getting flipped away. You can see getting saved for now, but they're not going to be enough to save Argy. He will die, and that is a kill going over to Luxorian Sun. I mean, I feel like what they were trying to do was to soak to 16, right? Before getting this objective and try to contest, but I feel like as soon as Luxorian Sun burned through those heroics, I felt like that was the time. Yitbaus complaining about his level 16. He didn't go for the cooldown reduction, instead going for the spread volley at 16. I don't know if he, I mean, I think spread volley is still good, but obviously with the rest of the Q build, I think the cooldown reduction is probably better. But again, this Punisher does go over to Luxorian Sun. They grab the fort at the bottom. Punisher gonna get cleared up here. And now, level 16 is here for Luxorian Sun. So, pretty much resetting the game at this point. Luxorian Sun has the advantage. Obviously, they have 2 forts up. But Aria and the Yitbauses might be looking to make something aggressive happen here. Indeed they are. The camp does get taken though, so it might be a little too late now, and Argy's gonna back away, has the cursed bullet on him as well. Whoa! Junkrat gets deleted. Sanctification going as well. Now Twa is under pressure and taunted, and that is the Haka going down. Mockery, will he get away? Looks like he will. So, again, I felt like they were... Maybe it was a good call to get aggressive on your opponents right then and there. Unfortunately, they were just a little too late to rotate on there, and obviously paid the price. So with that set of kills, Luxorian Sun now looking to push in the middle lane here with these Impalers, getting a lot of value in. Next objective will be in the top lane, where Luxorian's Sun does not have a fort, and their opponents do. Impaler is going to push in here again, getting the middle keep under a little bit of pressure. 1 level lead now for Luxorian Sun. And they're just going to back away and probably go clean up top lane. I don't think either team's going to have level 20 for the next objective. And do my eyes deceive me, but did they actually fix the observer bug where you can actually see heroic cooldowns now? I just realized that. Thank you, Blizzard. I appreciate it. So camp at the bottom, getting picked up here on the side of Aria and Yitbauses. Mockery doing the smart thing, giving vision, making sure they're not at the camp. Trying to keep eyes on their opponents. I think what they're trying to do here is catch someone on the rotation to this camp. But again, that's where you have the Medivh playing in. I better see some shot complaints now that he took the talent. All right, Flash Raven. I believe they will. So, little bit of a bait here from Yitbaus. Swoop coming in now. Gonna get away. Nice concussion mine from Yitbaus. But I believe Luxorian Sun is just gonna go ahead and take the camp. Yeah, that concussion mine basically saved 2 people's lives. I think he was trying to bait it, or at least, you know, make it look like there was less people there than there was, obviously. But in the end, camp will get cleaned up. Gonna push them away. And again, Shrine activated in the top lane here. Big thing is, I mentioned it before, Luxorian Sun doesn't have a well here. I mean, they don't have the 40, but they also don't have the well. The well as well. So, if this becomes a sustained team fight, both teams have sustained healers, but if Luxorian Sun gets really low, they won't have an opportunity to tap and their opponents will. But, Luxorian Sun, trying to get in aggressive here. Electra down at the bottom up against Twa. This is currently a 4v4, but Dahaka can burrow in at any point. Level 20 is around the corner for Luxorian Sun. Aria and Yitbauses backing away for now. Electra on the way, but no, looking to get aggressive. Twa coming in. Big damage going on to Argi. Sanctification going on as well. They're going to get the damage on the Haze in the backline. Argi very low. Malfear to be the first to fall, as will the Diablo. Great job there from Luxorian Sun. That sanctification was pretty key. They got the Riptire only onto Haze in the backline. Haze, he got the level 20 upgrade, by the way, so he has massive shove again as he pushes the Haka all the way back to his keep. So they do have that level 20 now. Oh, the cursed bullet up. Haze, he's pushing him so far, but he's sitting underneath the fort. The Gilnean Roulette. Still no 20 coming out from Electra, though. Holy Arena as well, I think, is going to get a lot of value. Oh, it's the Tormented Souls upgrade. Nice. Nice. So this Punisher looking to make things happen in the top lane. This will likely be at least the keep wall going down. Meanwhile, at the bottom, Dahaka trying to get level 20 for Aria and the Yitbauses. The big thing is going to come down to is if Luxorian Sun gets picks in this, you know, keep here, that could very well be game. Concussion mine up pretty far. Yitbaus will be stunned out from the Punisher. Jump onto him. This is an arcane Punisher, by the way. Those beams do hurt quite a bit. Riptire coming out. Taunt as well. No sanctification. Damage out onto Argi. He's going to have to pop right back through. Polybombs going out. Medivh actually is going to die here. The Punisher. John Cena making things happen. And Luxorian Sun gets away. Dahaka was pushing at the bottom this whole time. Yitbaus pushing them away thanks to the concussion mine, but Argi under a lot of pressure. Diablo is going to die here, and again, these are the picks I'm talking about. Luxorian Sun, are they willing to go for the jugular? They don't have a full immortal with them, but they're going to push under. They do have Holy Arena, however, and they are going to just eat away at this core. Core already down to 60%. I don't think Aria and the Yitbauses have enough to help this, and indeed, they don't. That'll be game number 2. Tying up. We'll go over to Luxorian's son. All right, so take a look at those final numbers. 5 kills to 10. Damage, Junkrat, I mean, like I said, the poke was real. A lot of damage coming in. Greymane doing a great job as well. Malthael, that double soak added up. You can see the XP contribution he had for his team as well. There are your final talents. It was Cannonball, so spread volley into Cannonball. Could have been better, but Luxorian Sun tying up the series. Again, this is a best of 2 series. So each of these teams only play twice. If they split the series, they each get 1 point. If one team were to 2-0 the other, they would get 3 points. There's a spider on my wall, and it's kind of creeping me out. But that will be it for this game. Normally we'd be doing an interview right now, but this game started about 20 minutes too late. And I have another matchup here in 4 minutes. So if you guys want to stick around, it will be a Division, Division D matchup between who? It's between Wholesome Halfwits and Missed My E.